No, I'm wearing my creep show pajamas.
Oh, I can't see it, but it looks like you're Stitch.
Oh, I'm Stitch? No.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
I've
now I
only
see it.
ever
Now I see
I've
it.
only ever seen that movie once. I don't know what
it's
the big
just
hype is. What?
I've seen it. I think I only saw it once. It's one of those movies where like I don't like being sad, and so I
Mhm.
don't want to see sad shit again.
Yeah, it
Like
does
when
make me
Marley and
very
Me came out, I was like, oh fuck that. I know the dog dies at the end. Surprise everybody. You ain't got to tell me nothing.
yeah.
Spoiler, folks.
If you don't know that that damn dog dies at the end, that is your fault. I knew it, and I haven't even seen the movie.
Let's get it going because I got things to do today.
Yeah, Lance, lube this pussy up, dog.
What do
Whatever,
you have to
whatever
do? Oh, that's
straight
right,
people
Lynn.
say.
I
What's
got a
today? It's
show
Saturday?
tonight. I got a whole bunch of different things. I got gifts
It's
to wrap.
Sunday.
I got a whole bunch of fucking shit that I haven't done, and I can't believe tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Or no, not Christmas Eve,
It's
but
not. So you can you can go with your instincts because it's not.
it's not
Um,
yet. It's close enough, that's for sure.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve Eve.
All right, so let's start off. Welcome to Slashers, where you can find your old, your new, and everything in between. Let's start off today by saying hello to Aid and Mikey.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome to the show. Hey, you're too sick. Don't even bother.
I don't, yeah, I'm very sick to everybody. I just want to know what the hell we're finding in between, Lance.
In
I'm so
between,
confused.
there's a lot of different genres of horror out there. So everything in between. So there you go. So
Um,
no matter what your horror fix is, we have it for you. Boom. I'm just saying. We are doing this movie. It's going to be called How to Kill Monsters, which is going along with our Who Gives a Fuck December or however we have it, or this fun, exciting kind of new movie. This wasn't really Christmas at all.
No, it's Halloween. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It was like this movie was like just kind of like new. It went straight to DVD. I think it's a UK movie. Let's see. Let me get the info here. It's directed by Stuart. Was it Sparkley? Sparky?
Sparkle.
Sparkle? Is it Sparkle?
Oh no, Stuart Spark. Stuart
Yeah, I
Spark.
was gonna say what?
Well,
Sparkle?
you said Sparky. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, it could be that. He also wrote and produced this, so it's actually pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it's a passion kind of film for him. It came out with I think the film company was Dark Rift Horror. This is pretty much kind of like a horror comedy. If you like movies like Army of Darkness or what other kind of movies are like this?
Glory is.
Yeah, I mean, the color frame was really close to that. Like it had that very same kind of like
Well, it's
darker tone.
Lovecraftian. That's what everybody wants to do when they do a Lovecraft horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, it definitely had that. And then it was just fun. It was fun, enjoyable, kind of like just dark humor, joking, like you said, Lovecraftian. I mean, obviously that dagger looked like uh Cthulhu, like on a dagger, basically. And I'm pretty sure we do actually see Cthulhu in the actual monsters in one of the backgrounds and whatnot. But like, I don't know, I kind of enjoyed this as what it was. Basically, it starts off kind of weird because you actually think you're at the end of one movie. So like, I was like, oh shit, did we like basically do a sequel to another movie this company put out, which was I think it was, is it the Book of Evil or Book of
Book
Monsters?
of Monsters.
Yeah, Book of Monsters. So like I almost thought, I'm like, oh wow, is this like a sequel to that? And I didn't know this. So because it comes off as the end of one whole other movie in the beginning, which I thought was kind of cool because it was like it was different, and kind of how they did it. I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
fun. What did you guys think in the beginning, honestly?
Well, I kind of knew that they did set it up to look like it was the sequel of a movie but I knew it was going to do that because I was reading something about it before we watched it, and it said like this is what happens after the horror movies end. And I don't know if it's related to Book of Monsters because I know it has some of the same cast and it's directed by Stuart Spark also.
Yeah.
Um, I probably not, but I actually was like surprised at how well it started and its fake ending because it had like a very solemn, almost like emotional type feel to it. And this movie is not an emotional type
Yeah, not at all.
serious movie. So they were really good at like setting a tone that was like a false feeling of what the film was going to be. And then they actually started the movie. And I thought it was really good. Like I was like, wow, this is like and they're doing really well. So like this is obviously a comedy. This is actually a dark comedy, people. And not like the other bullshit. But the actors, especially in the beginning, they like do a really good job of making it seem like it's a serious horror movie before they get
Yeah.
into the goofiness.
Yeah, Aid, what'd you think for the beginning?
Well, I had to check and make sure I didn't fast forward to the end by mistake, but no, I did like how the ending. I like how
I
the
think all of us
beginning.
probably did that.
Yeah, but the beginning of it was really solid, really strong. Like they did a good job at um, you know, showing us the character in a very short amount of time, and you kind of see where it's going from there, especially after she gets out. Um, and that's where I'll stop my comments.
Um,
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know, and I have trouble understanding fully this term slapstick comedy, but I know that Europeans do it a lot. Kind of like the Three Stooges and stuff like that. Like, I don't like that, but I did like that this movie actually made me laugh. So maybe they did it better than what, it wasn't as stupid as like, Mo and whatever and Sally hitting each other. I don't know their names. And but it was it had legit funny moments in it. The delivery of the lines was great. I thought the characters were great. I liked the bald cop, even though he wasn't hot, but that's fine. We can like ugly people, right? Just kidding. He wasn't ugly. There was something charming about him. But oh, and then Big Jen. I was like, oh, there's Aid. But I always have to find her in the movie. I'm like, where is Aid in this movie? And
You know
but
what's funny about that is that
you thought
character.
the same thing.
It was the not giving a shit type deal and sleeping in the jail totally is age 100%. Like it's like that
Well,
whole mentality.
I think she was the sex worker and
Oh,
probably used to being in. Is it illegal in Europe?
I don't think so. That's what I was a little shocked by that because depending on where they were, which is obviously I think they was in England. I
Yeah,
mean,
not.
maybe it
I know
is.
it's legal in Amsterdam, but maybe
Yeah.
not in Europe. But yeah, so it just kind of insinuates that she's used to being in the prison system. I'm so stupid sometimes. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of. Hey, put those eyebrows down. I know you didn't get Botox recently, so I know that was in response to what I said. Um,
That's so great.
I
YouTube, check it out.
I was like, there's a whole subgenre of horror movies that take place in prison.
Right? It
And I
really
was like,
does.
oh yeah, because this is one of them. And you have like Assault on Precinct, whatever, whatever, and The
Yeah.
Last Shift, even Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake. So like, go ahead.
Yeah, go.
Let
Yeah.
us hear what you have to say.
But before we go on, really quick, just a recapitation of the movie in case you all were wondering. It's the sole survivor of a blood-drenched massacre, must team up with a ragtag bunch of rookie cops and lawbreakers to defend a police station from an invasion of monsters from another dimension. I pulled that from the website because if you want to know more about this film, you can also visit the How to Kill Monsters. That has an entire website. So whatever they're marketing for this movie, they're really like trying to push it.
Nice.
Um, which is fine. Uh, I I thought it was funny. Like I enjoyed most of it. Like I really enjoyed everything up until the ending. And I guess when we get to that part, we'll talk about that because a lot of it was like, you know, character driven, as silly as it is. I mean, when you get to learn all of the girls in the bachelorette party group, that was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And I was gonna say that I was most like the girl who found the bottle of wine in the evidence room and was drinking it, okay? Because that would have been me, not the giant lady sleeping through everything.
The giant lesbian lady. Which I was like, why are they making her a lesbian? This is so weird. Like out of nowhere. But yeah. Um,
Did you notice that part though, where uh, a little bit of a spoiler, folks? So just so you know, this character slightly maybe gets it. But the part where they started grabbing her leg, the monster grabs her legs in
mhm.
between the pole. But the first time it does it, she goes, "Ooh."
No,
And I was like, what the?
I didn't have my TV on that loud to hear that because I have children. But that's not a dig to anybody here. I'm just saying, like, I couldn't listen to it that loud. But that brings into a point something else that I do like about this movie. It's mostly all practical effects. There's a little bit of
Hmm.
CGI, especially at the end, but it's practical effects, but also like even though it's funny, like Big Jen's death was pretty brutal.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it would have been more if they like would have kept doing it, but it only happened twice. But I was like, oof, that's a lot. So and that's I think what gives us that Evil Dead feel is the practical effects, but also like the brutality of what these characters
yeah.
get ultimately. But yeah, it is very character driven. I usually don't like horror movies with a lot of characters because you don't really feel like you have enough time to meet all of them. But we had enough time to meet them, especially the two bachelorettes, no, the two bridesmaids. There you go.
Hmm.
That I feel kind of just like to the side that don't really fit in, and it's not just because they're not Asian, but
They
they
put
just
kind of put that, don't they? Like it has this weird thing. Like you're like, there's a part of me going, "Are you sure they're friends?" Because it doesn't seem like they're friends, like at
well,
all.
she and so just to set the picture for everybody without spoiling it, there's a bride and three bridesmaids, and the bride is like a beautiful Asian, like that's kind of how she fits in with the two outside girls, is they're all pretty tall, skinny girls. Like they would be
Or
together like
mean
in
girls.
college and stuff, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's like a short, Ina Garden looking Asian girl who's she's super cute,
Just say
but
she was Ina Garten.
Would you
yeah, she
say?
kind of
Would
looked
you?
like her.
Would you
You
say?
know, we know what Jamie's issue is. She's been put there, more or less against her will, and she's being accused of murdering the rest of the people from the beginning. And, she keeps acting like a nutbag, saying, oh, everyone's going to die. And the thing is, it's like, how do you know everyone's going to die unless somebody fucks with that stick, right? So, meanwhile, you have the people in the forensic lab or whatever fucking with the stick.
That
So,
that hot forensic scientist, which I didn't. I love that. Okay, so this was, y'all know I love me some sexy bitches. We have a forensic scientist working on stuff, and she's just, white lab coat, her hair's up, and didn't think anything of her. And then turns out one of the guys is like in love with her, and so when she shows up like possessed by the entity or whatever, at first I thought they like comically gave her fake large breasts, and I was like, oh no, those are her boobs. She just walked in boobs forward, and I was like, oh wow, she's really hot. So I loved that scene. There's scenes like that because it's cheesy, but this movie's trying to be cheesy. But there's stuff like that that reminds me of like old Tales from the Crypt episodes that we don't really get in movies anymore.
Right. No.
And that's kind of the
mm.
feel it gives me, like that cheesy, sexy, a little grimy, a little gross.
So what did you guys actually think? I mean, as storyline goes, well, I try not to spoil it for everybody just because it is such a new movie. Um, but let's talk about the monsters and some of the practical effects with the gross outs and people being split in half and heads being cut off. I thought it was fun and it was a little throwback to old school style of practical effects, especially with the way the blood was squirting out and like, some of the chopped heads,
Yeah.
everything being split up, even the monsters themselves, because obviously some of it was actually like big puppetry type of style, and then the others was like actually manned outfits, somebody was in them, or woman people outfits where somebody was in them. I think for me personally, I thought it was really cool because it was like we're fans of practical effects here, you know what I mean? And they get pretty much the whole movie like that, other than maybe some CGI blood, which I saw one where I was like laughing, and in my head I was just thinking, oh, it's like motherfucking practical blood, no
Yeah.
CGI blood. But what do you guys think? I mean, like I thought it was pretty cool actually.
I liked it. Like I said before, I thought Jen had the most brutal one. The monsters themselves, I, I'm kind of over the whole tentacle thing when it comes to Lovecraftian stuff, but
It's like their thing, so you have to almost break
yeah,
it.
and I don't really think I've heard people like be like, if you think Lovecraft is all just like tentacles in space, then you don't really know Lovecraft. And I was like, I will admit I don't know much about Lovecraft because I've tried reading him and I can't. But it seems to be people's go-to. But I mean, it would have been cool if like one of the monsters was like that and like the other ones were like different. I love the little furry things.
Oh, the
Those were
bunnies.
cute. The little gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were very hokey, but they were cute too on top of it. So I liked it.
Yeah. And then she throws one at the girl's face when she gets it off her. I was like,
Yeah. It was very Gremlins. I loved it because it was like that and like I guess Mighty Python, the Holy Grail where the rabbits attack and everything like that. I think that's very funny because like it was really cool. I liked it again. Like it was one of those things. I mean, but hey, did you like? I mean, what was your favorite ones? You're saying that you like the rabbit monster looking things?
Oh, no, I didn't say that. Mikey
No,
did.
I know, Mikey.
she said they
Thank
were
you.
cute. She agreed they were
I
cute.
agreed with Mikey. Thank
Uh,
Still
you.
hated it. Just
Ugh,
kidding.
no.
I know, right?
No, actually one of the best things I thought in the film, which the beginning was good. I liked the monster in the beginning, but some of them were stupid. Like the one that looked like a big box that was like chomping on them. Like it looked like you just took
Yeah.
a big cardboard box and which I get. I appreciate the practicality of it. I appreciate that. We could have done more with
The
something
cuts.
with it. Like if you're going to show it that much because they focused on it a lot. I'm like, it looks
Mhm.
bad. Like let's cut to it quickly and cut away. Like let's not linger. Um,
Yeah, there was definitely some like Thanksgiving puppetry, like attack gnawing on people going on that I was like, we included that in the final cut, but
So you're
okay.
saying this movie's gonna
well,
be a cult classic?
that's that, and that's what I'm saying because you can tell like it's the same group of people are working on all of these films for this for Dark Rift Horror. That I noticed that all have the same kind of thing going on, and if everybody's writing, directing, producing it, everyone wants to keep what all of the things that all the ideas that they have and all the things they want to put in it. So they're going to have everything and with the kitchen sink in a film without cutting things out that they should. Their website is great. So if you need to check them out on the website, and I think it's a group of guys. I want to say that it's all three of them. It's Stephen or Stuart Spark, Paul Butler, who both wrote the movie, and then producer Cal O'Connell. And Cal O'Connell actually shows up in the movie as one of the cops. So
Oh, true. Is he the one that was at the desk in the holding cell,
he
or the old?
is no, he was cute. I can't remember, but I remember thinking, oh, that one's cute. And then I don't know what happened. Because there's a lot of things I don't and I was really sick yesterday, so I was a little bit high on my meds yesterday. So a lot of the movie is coming in and out um for me, unfortunately. But How to Kill Monsters. Why can't I find it?
Another cool thing, another cool scene that I thought was really good for practical effects was there was a scene, and this won't really ruin too much, but where this kind of frosting kind of goop falls on that
Oh yeah.
cop's face or his head, and then he rips off the front part of his head. Like
Yeah.
I was actually like, wow, like that was probably my favorite scene, like of a death scene. Was that scene? I thought it looked like they went all out into it, and even if it didn't, I thought they did a good job of panning in and out of it, enough to where it looks gruesome, it looks bad, but then staying away, kind of like how A was saying, is like sometimes it's nice to just give quick shots. So classic horror, when it doesn't look good, be fast with it and let the imagination of the people go.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I remember that when you mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, that was good. It looked really good. Which
Yeah.
sounds weird to say about someone ripping their face off, but like
Yeah.
it was really good. And then I think without spoiling the movie, there's one line that I really like that stuck with me. And I don't know if maybe it was just on accident or if it's talented writing or whatever, but excuse me, I have allergies. There's a part when they realize that shit is going down, and Jamie, who is the girl from the beginning, is with the elderly cop. I guess I think she's about to retire. I don't remember her whole story. And she's like, "Don't worry, you're not the final girl anymore."
Oh, the
And
mom.
yeah, and at first I was like, "That's kind of shitty." I thought she was saying like it's now this bride, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, what she's saying is she's not alone." But like it actually has multiple meanings when you finish the movie. You're like, "Oh, I liked that."
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I think that if you like practical effects and to me it's not as hard in my opinion, but it's almost as hard to make something funny as it is to make something scary. This
Mhm.
is not scary by any means. This is not scary by any means, but it is funny, which
Yeah,
is a big thing for me, which is probably why I am so happy with it.
yeah. I mean, it hits. If you want gore, you're getting gore, and if you want like some kind of like comedy, very slapsticky ish to certain degrees, I mean, this movie is gonna hit those things. If you're looking for something that's gonna actually like terrify you, I mean, depending on your age, I mean, some of that might actually scare you. You know, as like if you're younger, I mean, all of us at one point saw some kind of movie like this when we were kids.
Evil
You know
Dead
what I mean?
2.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And like you kind of like you're like, oh, this is scary but kind of funny. Like I'm okay with going into this. Sometimes these movies are the best kind of movies to get somebody into horror because like if it's not going to be like too traumatizing, obviously, then it might be the best way to get somebody in there.
What Lance is trying to say is there's no sex in the movie, guys. So if you have a kid that wants to watch and you don't mind gore,
Yeah, no boobs are being flashed, no tits are being popped out. Like it's just pretty much classic. I mean, like it really has like Hot Fuzz, Army of Darkness, or Evil Dead 2, like just those kind of like campy, bloody gore, just fun. It's like a real good fun movie. That being said, with this, we're kind of getting close to the time frame here of our hour. I thought we did a pretty good job not spoiling it for anybody. That's always good.
Yeah. Oh, so then I guess we won't talk about the end. So, anyways, I didn't like the ending. The end.
was it just too much for you?
I just didn't like that twist. I'm like, oh, now there's all this
Oh,
fucking exposition. When we have to
Mm,
go
yeah.
back to exposition, when we have to go back to the beginning and then go over everything, I'm like, no, just end the movie. I started nodding off. So I think that's
Yeah.
where it killed it, or they could have cut some of the middle out to yeah, it didn't need to be that.
you didn't
No,
like the Ocean's 11 ending?
no, fucking no. Like, just get on with it. Like, okay, that's a twist. We know what happened. Okay, we don't need to rewind. Now let's
Yeah.
move forward and end the fucking movie. I don't got to rewind and go back over everything. Like, I don't have time for this. So that was the only thing I didn't like. I
Mm.
love the whole movie, but I thought the ending like
Ruined
like
it.
ruined it in the sense that this is probably now why I won't watch it again if I do.
When the low budget Scarlet Witch shows up. Um, that's what she kept reminding me of.
Yes.
I was thinking
But
of the character from DC, the first Suicide Squad. They have the one witch girl in the side. I thought that was what they were trying to make her look like.
oh,
Oh, Cara Delevingne.
Yeah,
yeah, I forgot what her name was.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
who the character was, but I remember who it was.
Yeah.
yeah.
But just to circle back, prostitution is not illegal in the United Kingdom. So she
Oh,
must have been in trouble for something else. I also love the line, thank God for shitty drug dealers. So I'm
Oh
going to
my
do
God. If you want to watch our video cast, which condenses a review and you can see our lovely faces and how pissed off I am right now, check us
Mhm.
out at youtube.com/slashers podcast. We also have bi-weekly videos, reviews of all things horror nerd at the comic shop coming soon. So please make sure to subscribe. If you'd like to access monthly exclusive Patreon reviews and some sweet, sweet perks, find us at patreon.com/slasherspod. If you're the kind who likes to wear your support from anything from coffee cans to dental dams, you can find a Redbubble shop here at slasherspod.redbubble.com. If you'd like to follow us, feel free to do so on Instagram at slasherspod or Mutant Goons from Beyond. If you want to complain directly and tell one of us how wrong we are, you
Uh-huh.
can find us individually at myself, Aid, pathologically AD. You can find Mikey at Horror and a Half Shell. You can find Lance at Zombie VS Hate. If you want to follow Doug Bizarro, Yahira at Yahi45. And if Facebook is more your style, you can catch us at the Facebook group Mutant Goons from Beyond. Please support B Movie TV as well and catch Doug on Friday Night Action and Yahira on Saturday Night Terrors only on Roku. As always, we rely on the support of our listeners, and we want to give a special shout out to our amazing Patreon members Josh Gunn, Dinosaurs Will Always Be Awesome, my mom, Lorene, and by the way, Mom, I hope Pebbles does better this week. Kevin Leamy, Vlad Lewis, Leslie Thurman, Cam, and Dan. Head on over to Patreon and join the likes of these amazing folks.
Yay! Also, special shout out Doug and Jason. Happy birthday!
Oh yeah, we have our December B-Days and Mikey's is coming up as well.
You.
Yes, finally I can drink.
Yay.
Yes.
Wow.
My goodness.
Anyways, well, thank you everybody. Tomorrow's Christmas. Have a great Christmas if that's what you celebrate. If not, happy Yule. Stay away from that big Yule cat that eats people.
Is that a thing?
Our
Yes.
Krampusnacht. Ooh.
Oh.
That's over. That was the 17th, I think.
Oh, just kidding. All right, Lance, take us home.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming around. So, as we always like to say, goodbye. Good die.
Bye.
Bye.
Strike one, Lance.
I know.